Anthony D'Ambrosio. My goodness, he's not only the writer and director of our particular film that we're talking about, Triumph of the Heart, but he's also founder of Sherwood Fellows, Catholic Creatives, 8 Beats, and the OSV Innovation Challenge. My goodness, he's a busy gentleman. And we're going to be talking and we're going to be talking about this incredible feature film about St. Maximilian Kolbe and his companions' triumph over darkness. Anthony, good morning.
Hey there. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for hopping on. Over the past couple weeks, I feel like we've been seeing more and more film that are Catholic based, saint based, and it's incredible. This is something that I think everyone is starving and hungry for, seeing something on the big screen like this. So maybe you want to maybe jump in and tell us why you chose to write and direct a film about Saint Maximilian Kolbe today.
That's so great. Yes, I agree. It's definitely a new renaissance in Catholic filmmaking, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I started writing the film about Saint Maximilian Kolbe, really not even expecting it to be something that I would share with the world, but really more for my own personal meditation as I was going through a crisis of faith and a crisis of health, and really needing counsel and hope in the midst of a dark time. And I found that the meditation on Kolbe and his tenderness and his willingness to suffer with those companions, those 9 other men in that cell, was very useful to me for helping me to understand how to give my suffering to the Lord.
Yeah, that's wild. So I guess a question for you. We've seen maybe not film wise on the stories of Saint Maximilian Kolbe, but what makes your film different than say some of these other stories?
Yeah, so I think that our perspective that this film is taking is different and distinct because for most of my life, I really heard the story of Saint Maximilian Kolbe told very much from the perspective of Francis Guy Nietzsche, the man who he saved. And while I think that that's a really like beautiful kind of perspective and vantage point on the story, in a lot of ways, from his perspective, the story kind of ends there at the moment of sacrifice. And the truth is that Colby's story really, I think, the most fascinating part of it began at that point because he was able to bring these 9 other men who he died with to a place of really incredible brotherhood. They were singing together, praying the rosary together, and becoming in some ways the voice of Catholicism and of human identity from the center of their cell. And they were able to bring the rest of Auschwitz into a reminder of hope because their voices were the only voices that were able to freely pray and sing. Of course, the Nazis couldn't do anything worse to them than they had already done. And I think a lot of people also don't know that he died and was executed not alone, but with 4 other men, which means that he was able to not only survive for 14 days himself without food or water, but that he was able to get 4 others to fight with him in that sort of horrible and horrific condition. So that means that in some ways he was able to bring other people into sanctity alongside with him, and I think that's just an incredible story and I wanted to tell that, not just the story of his sacrifice for Francis Guy Nietzsche.
Yeah, no, that's great. Getting another perspective, something that's new and fresh that maybe we don't even know about until we watch your film. That's great. One thing I saw on Instagram, you mentioned that, I mean, it's cool to be able to film and create kind of, forced perspective, like this is where this all took place, but you actually filmed in Poland?
Yeah, that's right. We're a humble little micro budget team that does not have big financing from a studio or anything like that. And frankly, it's very hard to go overseas and shoot a film in a place that you don't know. And none of us thought that that was possible when we were first looking at kind of the budget and the script. But we realized that the script really required quite a few things all in the same place. We needed a convincing Auschwitz. We needed a quite a few different World War II era like houses and mansions. We needed a Polish cottage, and we needed a prison, and we needed all of those things to be within driving distance of each other because we couldn't like bring an entire production and cast and crew through different cities in the US. So we found, one of those in Chicago, one of those in Dallas, one of those in New Jersey, but that just wasn't functional for us for production. We realized that the only possible potential thing for us would be to shoot in Poland, where all of those things could be found really close to each other. So we ended up making the leap of faith and decision to shoot there in Poland, in Kolbe's hometown. And I think it lends an incredible authenticity to the film.
Absolutely, authenticity. That's something really difficult to do in Catholic films. Just because you said there's no like major studio throwing all this money that you're able to do that. So it's incredible you're able to go to Poland, and I'm assuming the actors too aren't just like your standard American actors putting on an accent. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's right. We shot with an incredibly international crew. I was expecting that we would shoot with almost all Poles, but what actually ended up happening was that there were Polish people kind of far aflung that all wanted a chance to like return home and tell a story of their own national legacy. And there was a Serbian person, there was a Ukrainian person, there was a couple of people from Britain, a person from Germany. So it was a very international crew, and of course we had many Poles as well. So I think the devotion to Kolbe is far aflung, and it was quite an experience of the global church coming together to tell this story.
That's incredible. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that now, even more than I have ever looked forward to it. I guess a question for you, because as a director, you get to see things that maybe the actors don't see, or maybe some people that are, the boom mic, they're not really paying attention. They're just trying to make sure we got sound. Was there any moment during filming where you're like, it just, maybe you took a step back, like, wow, this is incredible? Were there any incredible moments on set that you can share?
Oh, there were hundreds of incredible moments on set. Um, I'm trying to filter through and pick one that is something I can explain. Um, there was one moment. This was a story that I think is really interesting. So I felt for a long time like I felt like I was supposed to be in it for some reason, and part of it was like this is a project that has my whole life and soul in it, and even symbolically, I feel like I was really shaped by the story and wanted to give testimony to Kolbe in some way myself. But I shaved my head with all of the other prisoners. There's 9 men or 10 men who are going to be in the cell, and so we did a kind of a ritual where we all shaved each other's heads. To kind of go into that place together. And I happened to be one of the few men prepared at this moment where we were filming in Auschwitz. This was the most high pressure day. We had our all of these like hundreds of crew and extras, and only 20 minutes of sunlight left. And we were shooting a scene where the Kolbe's and the people in the cell, they sing this song, and the people outside of the cell are going through something kind of incredibly traumatic. And one of the men hears the song and decides to sing along with it, in some way, sort of sacrificing his life, knowing that that will get him killed, but doing so out of a devotion to kind of retain his own humanity. So this man steps forward out of line and begins to sing the song with Kolbe and his brothers. And he's shot by the Germans. And we had an extra that was planned to do this. And then we realized how hard the role was, because that person had to play a very emotionally charged moment. They had to sing a song, and they had to do a stunt where they were falling correctly when they were shot, all in one take. And we also realized that all of the people, the extras that we had lined up, were all already used. Oh, okay. Sorry. They were all already used, and they couldn't be used again. And so we had to really repurpose, retool very quickly. And I decided that I was going to take the place of that extra to do that moment. And so in this kind of crazy high stress pressured moment, this Polish, I guess, celebrity took me aside, began practicing this Polish song with me. The hair and makeup department started shaving off my beard. I was put pit crew style, put into the Auschwitz costume and hair and makeup in 5 minutes. And then I did the scene, and everything came together perfectly. So it was this moment of the Holy Spirit really kind of moving me into a place of being able to participate in the film and do this role that was it felt like heaven. And I think everybody everybody felt amazing about it. So it was really cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And are you going to be joining us in the after show clubhouse?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So go to triumphoftheheart.com to find out more information about this film and how you can help get this film completed. So triumphoftheheart.com. You can also find it on Kickstarter. There's a few days left to participate in getting this film ready to go. So triumphoftheheart.com. But we'll see you right after this break if you're not going to listen to Mess right after the next break. So we'll see you.
This has been Morning Joy, where truth matters, hosted by Keith Downey. Take some joy with you today. Visit grnonline.com/joy to listen again, share a segment, or answer the question of the day. That's grnonline.com/joy.